Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben, here for the daily what in the holy hell is going on in cryptos and the world. Now, we're going to make this very, very simple. Everyone is freaking out that, the guy from the government said they're not buying any Bitcoin right now. Damn it. Okay, number one, listen to what he said. They are acquiring the Bitcoin. You have to think like a government. You have to think like a system. And this is long haul. All right. Now, to really explain this, recently Trump hooked up the federal government with a company called Intel. And the federal government will receive 10% of the profits of Intel. This is what you guys should be looking at. Because what Trump is going to do is he has said it in the past. He has said, we are going to make America we're going to make all the Bitcoin. We're going to mine all the Bitcoin. It's going to be American-made Bitcoin. Now, which would be smarter if Trump would go out and purchase Bitcoin just at one price and he gets a certain amount of actual Bitcoin? Or would it be smarter if he negotiated some deals with the mining companies and the electric companies where they would possibly give them land? Hey, we have this land right here with a bunch of energy on it that is a federal land. How about we let you set up a mining facility right here for free? We'll actually give you 100-year lease, like $1 or something like that. But all of the Bitcoin you mine, we receive 20% of. Think about this. You have to think like a president. It isn't because we remember, guys, these are the people who print the money. They print up the treasury bonds, which are the global money. Which would be smarter? Because he isn't looking, he's looking long term. What have I told you guys? The important thing is earning more Bitcoin. Yes, you go out, you actually purchase as much as you can get. But what if you could earn more actual Bitcoin? That's the goal. Trump's goal is not increasing the value in the dollars that they produce. What he's interested in is a reliable amount of income, not in dollars, in actual Bitcoin. That's his goal. So what he's going to do is exactly what he did with Intel. Is he'll actually, hey, we'll give you some land, we'll help you out, we'll even give you a loan or whatever, but you got to pay that back. And America, the federal government, this is how he replaces taxes. I have told you guys for years, this is where we are going, to a UBI, not universal basic income, universal Bitcoin income. That's where this is all leading to. Because right now we see it as, okay, we're here. This is how much our Bitcoin is worth. Man, it's awesome. It's at $118,000. Holy cow. Guys, in 6 years, no one's going to give a flying what it's worth in dollars. What is going to be important is how much of the Bitcoin you have. And if you're earning on your Bitcoin, that's the future of this. That's where this is all leading to. That's why Trump and the Treasury Department is acting like they're acting with the reserve, because they want to earn through negotiations. They remember, if they print up money and they purchase a bunch of Bitcoin, that is inflationary overall. But if they produce the Bitcoin through partnerships with the mining facilities, and the government gets their cut, they're like, hey, we'll hook you up here with some land, a little energy, cheap energy. We'll take care of you. All we want is our cut. That's it. You can use the land. You can have the cheap energy, especially in Texas and Oklahoma and other areas. And this is how we collect a bunch of Bitcoin, and we help jobs, we help industry, we help corporations. And this is how, with tariffs and mining the Bitcoin, this is how we grow our reserve. Because remember, the goal is not more US dollars to the federal government. They print the dollars. Like I've said in the past, if the dollar was valuable, they would hold the dollar in their reserves. But they don't. Why not? Because they print it. They know it ain't worth shit. Why do we have a strategic reserve for oil? Because we can't just print it. Why do we have a strategic reserve for gold? Because we can't just print it. Why do they want a strategic reserve for the Bitcoin? Because they can't just print it. So they're not worried about the US dollar value of it. Look, right now, all of the ounces of the gold we hold, they have it set at a price of $34 an ounce. That's what the federal government is pricing per ounce of their gold. Are they in it for the money? No. They want the Bitcoin. That's what they want. And mark my words, folks, you're going to be able to pay your taxes and tariffs in the Bitcoin. Because remember, they don't want the dollars. That's why there isn't an emergency reserve of dollars. Because they can print them. They're shit. They aren't worth a fuck. They're worth less. As we transition, and this is such a huge, what Trump is in Alaska right now, as we speak. Now, what is he doing in Alaska? He's meeting up with Putin. Well, everyone's like, oh, they're having a meeting about Zelensky and Ukraine. Really? That may be a side note. No, this is a bigger plan, guys. You have to think like Trump. Trump is a 3 or 4 level chess player. He thinks far ahead. This is a longer play. This is part of moving us away from the control of London. Let me just put it that way. Because the London organization and the central banks are the enemy. That's who we're going after. That is who this is all about. Because that's where Trump knows. That's where they have us. But how do you change that? And you don't want to change it quick, because any quick movement on all of this would actually be not good, because then we would go into hyperinflation and shit would get crazy. This is a slow roll, but there's opportunities everywhere, because we're switching from the old system into the new system. And the new system globally will be the Bitcoin. And this is how you remove the lies of the global currency. See, we don't need a Federal Reserve when we're using the Bitcoin. It is the reserve. The network is the reserve. And it's completely decentralized. And Russia doesn't run it. America doesn't run it. That's why they call it digital gold, except it's better than gold, because we can produce it with energy, which means if you live on an island out in the middle of like fucking nowhere, but you have a power source, you can join the network and help to create the money, because it is decentralized. Now, on that island, you may not have gold. You may not have silver. You may not have oil. That's what screwed a lot of the countries and actually gotten us in so many wars. Look at the Middle East. Why were we in the Middle East? Oil and to protect the dollar. So thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have died to protect the U.S. dollar. Well, what if the Middle East was less relevant. How would that be? Less reliant on oil. Because if the global currency is actually a network of energy, which is what Bitcoin is, it holds economic value in an electricity network. Now, if you live out on an island, but you ain't got no gold, you ain't got no silver, you ain't got no oil, but you have electricity, you can produce and help to produce the world currency. So it actually equalizes the ability of every place in the world to make it even. Even opportunity, not even outcomes. Because if you have a bunch of energy, but you don't, why do you think Russia is so big on mining friggin' Bitcoin? Because they got a shit ton of energy. Why is Trump so huge? Why is his kids getting involved in mining the Bitcoin? Because they know exactly what I know. It isn't about the dollars. It's about the Bitcoin. Are you making more Bitcoin? That's why at our club we set up the mining we have. And that's why next year I'm launching a mining facility, either here or in El Salvador. Because that's where this is all going to transition into. America will be measured by its GBT, gross Bitcoin production. GBP. There you go. GBP, gross Bitcoin production. And as we move along, every single country will do this because it's how you level out your electric company's usage, which actually makes the grid more secure. And the excess energy humans aren't using can now make money because you can switch them on, you can switch them off, and you can mine the Bitcoin. This is how the future economic system is, right? We have Washington, D.C. explaining how they are actually partnering with companies so they can put computers on the moon. And these huge centers for data, the data centers on the moon. Folks, here's another example. Let's look at Jack from X, or I'm sorry, when he owned it, it was Twitter. Jack just launched a new mining chip. Now, he says it is so much better than anything out there. Is that true? I don't know. I still got to jump in there and look at his numbers. But we have him. He now owns a company that produces chips just for Bitcoin, just to mine Bitcoin. Do you think it's going away? No. This is so much larger than anyone realizes. This is revolutionary in a way that's almost hard to explain, because when I look back, the only thing I can really equivalize, compare with this is either electricity or fire in the evolution of humans. We have reached a level technologically where we can hold monetary value on the internet. See, and everyone knew that this was actually eventually reach a point where we would be here. That's what Jack, Elon Musk, all of them were trying to do in the late 90s and early 2000s. That's what PayPal originally was supposed to be, something like Bitcoin. But that did not work out because it has to be decentralized. It cannot be ran from a company. It cannot be ran in America. It cannot be ran in Russia because that requires trust. Well, with the friggin' Bitcoin network, you don't have to trust nothing except the network. And it works. I use it all the time. Hang on, Red Bull. Ah, damn, that's good. Ah, mother's milk. This is such such an important place we're in right now. And Trump in Australia, Alaska with Putin is such a bigger deal than anyone realizes, because it is moving us towards getting rid of the influence of an old corporation, the Euro-Dutch corporation, and the global central banks that evolved out of that. London has fallen. London is screwed. But there's a chance that Trump can actually save London. And I know that sounds crazy, but when you know the organization of the globe and who's really in charge of the world currency, let's say, and who's in charge of lending money, who's in charge of creating money, who's in charge of all of the huge corporations. It ain't BlackRock, guys. BlackRock is just one of hundreds of corporations that are led by about 1,000 people. That's who really runs the world, is about 1,000 people. And the majority of them, you don't know their names, because these are not the people who are out running for office, out head of J.P. Morgan. Oh, that's only a puppet. The head of BlackRock, only a puppet. Now, they're realizing now that they have to get into the Bitcoin. They have to buy some Bitcoin. They have to mine some Bitcoin. The old world order realizes they've lost. And Trump and Putin up in Alaska is a sign. There's a reason Trump chose Alaska. Through Alaska, it's about that far away from Russia, up at the tip. This is an economic deal. This is not about Ukraine. All right, Ukraine is all, that's leaving something alive so that the left and the media have something to focus on. Trump and Putin, they're not worried about Zelensky. All right, they're not worried about Ukraine. Russia could have crushed Ukraine a long time ago. And if you don't really believe that, you're living in a fucking fantasy. Russia is not weak. Russia is huge. Russia is strong, and Putin ain't no punk. If he wanted to destroy Ukraine, he would have. He doesn't. This is all a big show, because what's happening right now, what Trump is actually doing, because you have to look at the bigger picture. Look at, there are 3 wars that were happening, and these are like 100, 200-year wars that had been going on forever. 3 of them he solved. One of them, I think it was yesterday or the day before, they had a press conference. It was Trump, El Presidente of wherever here, the other president from wherever here, and they had been at war for 100 years. 100 years. Now, what happened? What happened that made them say, okay, shit, yeah, well, hey, no more war? Trump said, look, this land you guys are arguing about, let's make some money, guys. Let's do some business. Put down the weapons and pick up your wallets, because we can make some money here. Because if you have a partnership with Russia, you're not going to go to war with them. If you have a partnership with friggin' Mexico, you aren't going to go to war with them. If you have a partnership with Australia, you aren't going to go to war with them. Trump is dropping the bombs with doing some business. That's how you avoid war. Because then it's a win-win for each side. And that's what he's working on. And everything else coming out in Washington, D.C., and everything going on in Washington, D.C. See, the socialist, the communists and the progressives have worked for 100 years to rot America culturally from the inside out. That has been their goal, to rot America socially from the inside out. Look at all of the major cities. Why are they so bad? Who runs them? Who has ran them for years? The progressives. Because it's on purpose. They know how to socially engineer a lot of the people in these cities, because they have raised these people in a society where the government makes the rules or rewards you. If you're a single mom and you got 18 fucking kids with like 19 dads, you live off the system that they created. You have traded your sovereignty for the money. And now that's all changing. And I've seen it on, I think I was on X. And there was a woman that was complaining that her food stamps went from $2,800 a month to $145 a month. Now, you say, y'all, man, Ben, you shouldn't laugh. That gal's going to have a hard time. No, that gal's going to reap the consequences of stupid fucking decisions in her life. That's called reality, folks. You play the stupid games, you win the stupid prizes. That's how you learn. The problem with our society is people haven't learned through failure. They've learned, well, if I have a few more kids, I can get on welfare, or I can do this, or I can do that. Or I don't really have to work. I'll just go to school for 18 fucking years and live off my parents. That shit, that's like going away, guys. Because we can't live like a country like that. That's what the progressives want us to do. They want us reliant on them so they have job security. Because when your job is to take care of the poor little Americans, and you set up laws and regulations and taxes, and you print money that devalues their savings, you put them in a hole they can't get out of. And then generationally, they look at that hole as a house. Well, when I was raised up, I lived in the ghetto, so I'm okay with the ghetto. I know the environment. No, and this is not a race. This is not black. This is not white. This is social engineering of all of us. And it has to end. We have to have responsibility in America again. Because if we don't, we're slaves. And I, for one, will not be a slave. And I don't think you will either. Now, with that said, there's a ton of opportunity in this new system. And I want to give a shout out to my team here in Sarasota. Last night, one of our members came in, and luckily our team, Sherpa and Heidi, realized that he was about to get scammed. And we walked through it. We figured out what was actually going on. And eventually he realized, yeah, I'm getting scammed. But we caught it early. And that's one of the reasons our clubs are here. Because as a member, you can walk in, you can go, hey, I got something going on here. And, hey, I want to do this or I want to do that. And you can actually talk with a person who has your best interest in mind. And you join, and you don't live close to a club yet. Don't worry, more clubs are on their way. You call us. We'll actually do a Zoom with you. That's why we're here. We're here to help everyone acquire the Bitcoin, acquire the knowledge, acquire experience and education. And we try to protect you, sometimes from yourself, because you get wrapped up in, because a lot of hackers use social engineering, just like the government. Well, fuck, they both rob you. And that's why we're here. Oh, and another huge announcement. I think Jay actually talked about it yesterday. At our clubs, you can now purchase with a loan or with a credit card or a loan or cash, however, Ethereum and Solana at our clubs. So if you got your Bitcoin and you're like, you know what, I want to roll a little dice on Ethereum and or Solana, you give us a call. Oh, where is that damn telephone number at? Hang on 1 second here. Here we go. 941-413-6920. Now, we are here to help you guys. That's our number one goal. It's the only reason we exist, is to help people transition into this, because this is the future. It's clear as day, guys. Clear as day what's going on. Because everyone, every corporation, every company, every bank, everyone is realizing the fiat money ain't where it's at. And everyone's looking for some place to hold value as we go through this transition. Guys, gals, money printer go burr, and it's about to really go burr here in September. And the more they print, the more the Bitcoin eats. That's what the Bitcoin does. That's what cryptos do. They eat the fiat. We're going through a huge transition, and we're just at the beginning. This is a global economic shift that is going on right now. And you guys watching this show right now, you guys are way ahead of it. This is going to and is amazing, guys. This is going to be so unbelievable on how this rolls out, because not only are we transitioning into honest money, we are getting rid of the old liars, the old system that has taken us to war over and over again. World War I was for World War I. That was the goal of World War I, was to have World War I, so they could reorganize the globe. And World War II was because they couldn't get everything they wanted after World War I. They've lied for so many years. They've hurt so many people. They have killed so many people. And this is all going to come out, guys. Look what's going on in Washington, D.C. now. Look at the grand juries that have been set up with Russiagate and others. Fauci, I'm looking at you, brother. You're in deep shit. I wonder why he has absolutely gone missing. No one even knows where he's at right now. I wonder why. And I wonder why Joe, the sleepy Biden, why he actually pardoned Fauci. An unprecedented preemptive pardon, which is illegal. You cannot pardon people for shit that they have done that has not been charged with yet. That's not how that works. We have been screwed. We have been lied to. But now we have a way to change all that. And it is changing. You should be happy that you're watching this show. You should be happy that you own cryptos. Like I said, this is the future. This is the internet 1996. When AOL shipped us all of those fucking CDs, every other fucking day you got a new CD from AOL. That's where we're at right now. And guys, this is just the beginning. We are going to look at where we're at now in 2 or 3 years, and we're going to go, holy shit, were we early? Because with AI, robotics, flying drone cars, if you haven't looked on YouTube yet, look up a flying car. Some of the shit they can do now is amazing. And don't worry, Cliff High, your flying RV is coming. All right. Everyone, it's Friday. Grab your Red Bull. Cheers. And rock and roll, guys. Enjoy the weekend. And I will see you guys on Monday. Remember, if you are interested in purchasing no KYC Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, join the club. We accept credit cards, and we also can set you up with a loan to purchase cryptos. All right, guys, give us a call, 941-413-6920, and get you some cryptos. Love you guys. I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.